everyone, this is Natalia, the founder of the Poderosa Network, and today I want to talk to you about how I secure clients for the entire year. Now, this is something that I am personally really proud of because my clients actually tend to stay with me for years, and to me, that's the highest compliment because that means that my clients are obviously happy with my services, they're happy with the work that we do together, and that's really valuable for me because my biggest focus in my business is the quality that I deliver to my clients and the results that they get. Now, as someone who has been doing this for 12 years, and has found that my clients stay with me for years, obviously I have now gotten to a place where it has become easier for me to secure clients for the year or for years. And I want to talk about how I do that by giving you the strategies that I use, but also really breaking it down for you so that you understand how it can be possible for you, even if you're at the beginning stages. So, for example, if currently clients only work with you on a one-time single basis, or maybe just a few times, I want to talk to you about how you can retain them longer. Because the reality is that before I was able to get to the point of securing clients for an entire year, I started by focusing on securing them for 3 months and then 6 months and then eventually 12 months. So let me break it down for you and take you back. So what this really goes back to is your business model. And what that means is just simply your products or your services, right? And the way that you currently deliver them, the way that you package them, and the way that you present them. So, for example, if you look at your current services or products and they are set up to be a one-time purchase or a single purchase or a single session, that is the reason why you are not having that consistency, right? Those recurring clients. And here's the thing. If you want to create recurring revenue in your business, the way you do that is by creating packages that create that recurring revenue for you. So when you look at your services and your products right now, however long that sale is the current lifespan of your client. So for example, if I were to look at your services right now and your longest package to work with you is 6 weeks or 3 sessions, right? Or a 190-minute session, that is the current lifespan of a sale and the current lifespan of a client in your business. That means that is how long a client can stay with you. So that also means that when that client completes that service or product, they are now done and you have to go and find the next client and the next sale. Now, this is where it gets tricky or complicated for you, right? Because if your service is set up to only serve a client from, let's say the start to the end is only 4 weeks or 6 weeks or a one-time 90-minute session, that means that your turnaround is that every 6 weeks, every 3 weeks, every 4 sessions, you have to now find new clients. You have only secured income for that amount of time. Right. And it is super, super important for you to be able to now create a container that is longer. And I want to talk to you about the benefits of doing that because sometimes we're scared. I know, speaking from personal experience, sometimes we're scared to create longer containers because either A, we're scared of making that commitment, right? Can I actually show up for the next 3 months? Can I actually show up for the next 6 months? Can I actually show up for the next year? I know I used to have that fear. Or will the client show up for that amount of time, right? Will they want to commit to that amount of time with me? And the reality is that if you show the value and you understand sales and marketing and positioning, which can be a whole other training here, then you can do that. So it's all about understanding how to position it to the client so that it makes sense. They know the value and they understand why they should work with you for that long. And here's the thing, once you're able to work through any fears, any barriers that you have around committing yourself to a 3-month, 6-month, or 12-month container with the client, and you're able to expand your nervous system, right, and your energetic capacity to hold that space for others and to commit to it for yourself, amazing things happen in your business. So you want to give clients that opportunity, and the benefits are there for both you and the client. When I work with a client longer, when you work with a client longer, you create predictable and recurring revenue for yourself. You also establish a stronger relationship with the client. You get to know them better, which means you can now serve them better. And it's the same thing for the client. They get a better experience with you. They get a deeper experience. They get better results. And because of that, they are naturally going to want to keep working with you. And they are also naturally going to refer other people to you as well because they had a better experience. So in reality, longer containers are a win-win for everybody. So what I would encourage you to do is that if you're currently in a place where your services or products are a couple of weeks long or maybe a single session, I would encourage you to minimum take that service or product and make it a 3-month container, right? If you're not already at the 3-month mark, start with that. Why? Because now this is positioning you to do what? To be able to secure income, secure a client for the next quarter. So now the lifespan of that client, the lifespan of that sale is a quarter, and there are only 4 quarters in a year. So imagine if you only had to look for new clients 4 times a year versus every single month or versus every single week. Do you see how that shifts your energy? Do you see how that changes things and makes you feel more secure? And also, what does it do for your business if you're able to project that for the next quarter, you're going to make X amount of dollars in the business, or you're going into the following month knowing you're going to make X amount of money and you're not starting at zero, right? The key here is to get you out of ever starting at zero or running out of clients or feeling that scarcity or having to continually work for new sales, because the reality is that it is easier to keep a client than to get a new one. So I want you to learn how to keep the clients that you get. And the way you do that is by offering them longer containers with you. Like I mentioned to you guys, I started with the 3-month, right? I expanded to 3-month container. From there, what I found was my clients were signing up again. So I was like, you know what, let's do 6-month container, right? Instead of you guys having to sign up over and over again every 3 months, let's now do every 6 months. So now they're only having to sign up twice a year, right? And my client lifespan is now it's half the year, right? And how amazing does it feel to know I have clients secured for half of the year? It's incredible. And once I realized that my clients were actually staying with me for the entire year, 4 years, I decided to challenge myself. And I actually first did this in 2025, going into 2025. So I guess technically implemented it in 2024, at the end of 2024. I decided to offer, instead of 6 months of coaching, 12 months. And to be honest with you guys, I was scared. I was scared to offer 12 months of coaching. I wasn't sure if people would go for it because it felt like a long time. And it is a long time, right? And the year does go by fast within the business world, but I knew it was a big commitment, right? For everybody, for myself, for them. But I knew, I was like, I've been doing this for a decade. Like, I'm not going anywhere, right? Like, I'm going to keep coaching. I'm going to show up. I have proven, and really for myself, expanding my energy and my nervous system around it was that I had already proven to myself that I was already showing up for these clients for that amount of time. And because of that, I felt bold enough to do it, right? There was still fear, but I felt bold enough to do it. So I decided to offer the 12-month option. And I was surprised, but every single one of my clients took me up on it. They all said yes. And what that did for me in 2025 was that it put me in such a sense of ease and peace and abundance, right? And flow. And I was no longer having to create content out of scarcity or having to launch things out of scarcity or feeling forced to do things. It put me in such a state of flow because I had this structured container that created recurring and predictable revenue for my business for the next 12 months, right? Payments automated, all of it automated, and set up to help me succeed. And it was amazing, right? They were committed for the year. I was committed for the year. I knew minimum I was going to make X amount of dollars for the year, even if I did not make any other sales. And it was amazing. So I've continued to do that into this year, secured clients for the year, and it has really put me and my business at a different level. So what I want to encourage you guys with is that if you're more in the beginning stages of this, like let's say if I were to go back and I had to do this all over again, here's exactly what I would do. If I had to start all over and I wanted to build this retention, build these consistent clients, here's the approach I would take at this point in time with the way that I am seeing our industry. I would create one single session, okay? Like let's say you're still building that client base. I would create a single session, either like a 90-minute session one-on-one with people or a workshop of some sort, so that people can get an experience of what it's like to work with me, so they could see the value through this 90-minute session, through this 90-minute workshop. They get to see and experience your magic. From there, I would use that to now upsell people into a 3-month ongoing container. So that single 90-minute session would then pull people into the 3-month ongoing container, right? Because what that's going to do is it's going to start to build that consistency. It's going to start to build that predictability in your business, and it's going to get you the clients who are saying yes to a longer term commitment, to being more ready to work with you, and to you also saying yes to that for yourself. And I would just focus on those two things. On the front end, I would promote the single session. That would be everything that my marketing would be focused around, would be that one session. And then from there, I would use that 90-minute session at the end. I would ask the client, would you like to keep working on this with me, right? And here's where some sales strategies would kick in, of you letting them know how you see yourself continuing to work together and offering them that ongoing 3-month container with some sort of incentive as to like why they should move into it now. And that's how I would start to build those 3-month clients, because naturally those 3 months clients will start to re-sign after 3 months, and it'll turn into 6 months, and then 9 months, and then a year, and then you can extend your package to 6 months, and then you can extend it to a year as it feels right and ready. But even just that initial tweak of going into that 3-month, that quarterly, predictable, profitable revenue, that will be a game changer in your business, I promise you. So that's what I would personally do if I was having to start that all over again, in order to build that consistency with my clients. So that's what I would recommend. I hope this helps. If you do need support with how to actually create that offer, how to actually create, an offer that and promote it and sell it in a way that people are going to want to buy it, I do have a digital workshop, which I will link here below for you guys, that you can learn, where I walk you through step by step on how to create an offer and a sales page. And as long as you have those two things, even if you don't have a website, even if you don't have anything else, as long as you have those two things, you will be able to create an offer with the sales page to promote it in order to be able to start getting those recurring revenue clients, how to create that 3-month ongoing container, or even for that single session. You'll be able to use it for both that 90-minute single session, that workshop, plus that ongoing container as well. I'll walk you through it step by step. I'll teach you how to create the sales page even without a website, or if you do have a website, you can plug it into your website and you'll build it out in a way where you know how to sell, how to speak to the offer, the value of the offer, so it becomes really easy for your client to say yes to you. So I will link that below if you want to take the next step. And if you have any questions about the information that I shared, feel free to leave a comment below and I will come back and answer your questions. So thank you for joining me. I hope this training was helpful, and I hope you will be able to take these strategies and implement them to start creating recurring revenue for yourself and for your business. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next video.